Guys, I'm back. I'm doing another DVD update on all the DVDs that I've bought over the past month. So let's just get started. This first DVD I picked up from the UK. It cost me $8 with shipping included, and that is Cyborg 3, The Recycler. I have the first two, so I wanted to complete the Cyborg trilogy, if you want to call it that. It's a fun little, it's a fun little sci-fi flick. It's nothing great. I mean, I have fun with it. I don't recommend it. And it's got some notable actors in it. Exactly. Malcolm McDowell's in it. Richard Lynch. Zach Galligan from Gremlins. But don't believe the movie when it advertises starring Malcolm McDowell. That's a lie, because he's only in the movie for 5 minutes and he dies. So yeah, don't believe it. Next is a film that I don't particularly like, but it was also $8, and since I have the sequel, I went ahead and picked it up. The Guyver. Crap. This movie sucks. Why'd you buy it? Well, I'm a fan of The Guyver. I love the second film. Love the anime. I'm a big fan of the anime. I've got the 1986 OVA on a DVD-R because it's never been released on DVD. It was released on video in like 1991, I believe, and it was only subtitled, and I have that on DVD-R with great quality. I have the 12-episode 1989 series, and I have the 2005 series on DVD. So I love the second movie because the second movie keeps in the complete dark, violent tone that the series and the manga has. But this movie treats it as a joke. It's not funny. I mean, Jimmy Walker. Nothing against Jimmy Walker. I think he's funny, but this isn't a movie that's supposed to be funny. But I guess when one of the directors is screaming Mad George, hilarity ensues. No, not really. It says director's cut also. The only thing I found different in this movie is they added a prologue, which everything in the second movie explains. So why? I don't know. So again, I just did it. I did it to complete my collection. So. Next, The Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. Haven't watched it yet. Heard it was funny. It cost me $7. Stars Shannon Tweed, Adrienne Barbeau, Bill Maher, or Maher. I know I mispronounced his name from Politically Correct or Incorrect, whatever that show is. I can't remember the name of the show. It's late. So we'll see. We'll see if it's funny. Next, Demonic Toys 2. It's also cost me only $7. I'm not a fan of the first Demonic Toys. I'm just not. But I heard that this film is fun to watch, so I just picked it up. And again, it's $7, whatever, $7. I tell you, I watched it. The first half of the movie was pretty good. The build-up, I was getting the characters. I was liking it. In the second half, I'm confused. So, I mean, if you are a fan of this film, please explain the last half of the movie as why would this ancient puppet bring the demonic toys back to life and then take orders from the demonic toys. I understand the whole spirit possession thing. That's not too hard to understand, but it's just a lot of stuff. It just doesn't make sense. And another thing that doesn't go for the movie is all the deaths are CGI. I understand, I mean, it's full moon. I don't expect much from full moon, especially nowadays. But why a guy gets stabbed in the hand? Why did that have to be completely CGI? Makes no sense. I understand with their budget and getting the head cut, a character's head gets cut off, and I understand why that's going to be completely CGI for a film like this. But why for just a regular stab in the hand? Why? I don't recommend it. I like it better than the first one. I know I know that's weird because a lot of people love demonic toys, or at least I have to say a lot of people, but I go through different forums and people like it. They seem to like it. But you know, I can't get into it. This one I got into the first half. The second half completely confused me. So please, if you want to, somebody explain it to me. I mean, I don't want to sound like an idiot. Oh, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Next is another movie that I got for $7, and it's a classic slasher film. I've seen reviews on it on YouTube over and over. Well, I saw a review, and I finally had to check it out, and that is Intruder, directed by Scott Spiegel, who directed From Dusk Till Dawn 2. It's a good slasher, but I enjoyed it. There's a couple of parts that even made me cringe, and I've seen some messed up crap in my time. I mean, but it's a good film. But again, don't let it fool you, because where is it? Bruce Campbell here on the cover gets top billing. He's only in the movie for 30 seconds at the end as a cop. So don't let that fool you. Sam Raimi's in it, and he has a bigger role, and so does Ted Raimi. But if you're a fan of slasher films, I mean, it's different. I mean, a slasher film that takes place in a supermarket after hours, it's definitely a check out. It's got great atmosphere, and it has a creepy mood, creepy feeling to it. So I said, check it out. Hey guys, sorry about that. My camera died last night in the middle of me filming, so I had to get the battery charged up. So I'm just going to continue off where it cut off on me. The next DVD I've gotten, Puppet Master: Axis of Evil. It's the first new Puppet Master film in 10 years, if you don't want to count Puppet Master Legacy. And it's a pretty decent flick for a full moon movie of recent. You know, they've got a new puppet. Some of the puppets that I wish were in there aren't, like Six Shooter. He's one of my favorites, but you know, what are you going to do? And it's directed by David Dakota, who directed Puppet Master 3, which in my opinion is the best of the series. And he also did Curse of Puppet Master, which I don't think is that bad. Yeah, the stock footage is really noticeable, but I don't think it's that bad. I actually enjoyed the plot that they had in that movie. And he did Retro Puppet Master, which not the best, but you know. But Puppet Master: Axis of Evil, I got it for $18. Which made me mad because I was at my local DVD store and they had it for $12. So I'm like, well, that'll teach me to pre-order, I guess. Next is a movie I have not seen. I've been wanting to see it for a long time, and I was at my local DVD store and I found it for $7.50, and that is Mimic with Mira Sorvino. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm really looking forward to watching it because I like Mira Sorvino, and I love Charles S. Dutton. He's awesome. He doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. You don't hear too much about him. I think he's an underrated actor. And since I picked up Mimic for $7, I went ahead and picked up the sequel, Mimic 2. It'll be a nice little double feature whenever I watch it. So, next is a classic 80s horror comedy. I love this film I'm about to show. It is one of the most fun films you can watch. It's directed by a great director, Steve Miner, and I'm sure some of you already know where I'm going with this, and it is House. I love this movie. It is so fun. I totally recommend it. It stars William Katt and George Wendt from Cheers. So, I mean, where are you going to find a horror movie that co-stars George Wendt? I don't know any others, so I love this film. And I've never owned it on any